Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming with yours truly, iOctane. Today we're going to take a look at the new Earthslayer deck in action in a GVG skirmish. So this is one of the combos that actually works in GVG, and the next combination uses Yuan Swarm and Power Gem or Gem Silence, a card that dispels Power Gem Silence or Gem Silence. I use a Warden which dispels all enemy debuff. You can use something else. I'm gonna let you see both these combinations in action, and then we'll talk about the deck when we are in those battles. So one of the things you want to do when you come up with a GVG defensive team or a GVG offensive or attacking team is practice, practice, practice. See the weakness within your defensive team, see the weakness within the deck that you're using to attack. So first and foremost, we're going to go up against one of my teammates who are guildmates who have got a mixed GVG team. So most GVG defensive team since of lately seems to be of multi affinities. So this one is made up of two affinity. It's made up of dark and it's made up of light. This team is not really that powerful because you have to equip it with two types of cudgel, making it much weaker than a single affinity defensive team. And we're going to demonstrate that as we get into the battles. So we're going to go to practice and we're going to select our team and we are going to get into the battle. So I'm using several types of relic on this particular combination. I'm using the North Star Chakran, and that is to give me a revive. Now it's a spirit relic, so you need to equip your deck with a spirit card. I've got the Goblin Jockey, which is a spirit card. It's from the same deck as the Chakram. So first and foremost, we're gonna swap all our gems to get all our battle skills ready. Once all our battle skills are ready, we're gonna activate our battle skills. So if you notice, I took a hit from the boss, but my deck didn't die. And the reason why my deck didn't die is because this is not a single affinity team. If it was all dark, you would the team would have had enough cudgels to give it enough power to actually kill my team, but it hasn't got enough power to kill my team, so my team actually survived the first hit. The counter skill or the defensive skill on this part, the defensive skill, not counter I should say, the defensive skill of this card is counter attack. Counter attack can be very nasty when it comes to GVG. However, we're using our nuking ability, so it doesn't matter. Nuking ability goes straight past that particular defense. So that makes counter absolutely irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. So next up, we're going to use our power gems. So we're going to swap our power gems. We've got a full board of power gems. And that takes the boss out. And the reason why a Earthslayer deck is able to go through a dark defensive team like this, again, it's because it's a mixed team. It's got dark and it's got light. So the deck is powerful enough to take out these type of decks, because these type of decks are very weak. So again, we are going to use our nuking ability. And then we are going to wait on our passive. So our passive from our ultra rare and our ultimate form creates 6 power gem 3s each turn, as long as you've got power gem 1 or higher on the board, which we've got loads of power gems on the board. So now we're going to swap our power gems, but because it's earth against light, my attack is not going to be very powerful, so I might die from the hit from this boss, but we still got our revive. There you go. So I just use my revive and I'm gonna use my nuking ability just to kill that boss off. My passives kick in, and I'm on the last defender, and I've got, let me activate my Goblin Jockey to give me a full board of power gems. I've still got 2 of my nuking cards ability, and I've still got my Ultra Rare's ability to increase my damage output. And that's it, the boss is dead. So this deck will actually change the scope of GVG defensive team, and I really appreciate this deck. I didn't like this deck primarily because of its nuking ability. I don't like it in the event. I don't use its nuking ability in the event even though I've got the deck. I hate nuke cards, but in GVG nuke cards are the best. So this deck has actually changed my opinion of nuke decks. I'm actually loving its nuking ability in GVG, not in the event, in GVG. So this card have actually changed my perception of nuking cards. So now nuking cards are never going to become my favorite cards, but I actually love this nuking deck. At first I said this deck was rubbish. I'll take back my word. I'll say this deck is really good when it comes to GVG. Absolutely brilliant in GVG, but in anything else it's not really that good. So now we're gonna go up against a single affinity team, and you'll see the power behind this team. So it's a single affinity, it's just water. So because we know this deck is going to be more powerful, we're gonna die on our first attack, and it's also got Gem Silence as its first defense. So we know we're gonna die on the first hit. We're definitely gonna be hit by Gem Silence. So what we'll need to do is come on. My iPad is getting really slow simply because of the updates from Apple. So as your iPad gets older, the more update you get, the slower your iPad becomes. So your iPad becomes very slow as you get older because you have to keep updating it, and then you have to end up buying a new iPad. I really hate that. So my iPad is not as fast as it used to be, simply because of the updates. So I swapped out one of my do you know what, I need to dispel Gem Silence, so I'm going to swap this one as well and get myself a card that can dispel Gem Silence. And what I'm going to choose, I'm going to choose a card that its ability, event skill, Warden. So I've got a Warden card that actually dispels all enemy debuff, and this is it. So what I've done with my attacking deck, I've changed 2 of my cards. One for this one, Yuan Spes, and tell you the truth, I don't really need Yuan Spes because I will not be using any turn delay on this particular combination. I know I don't need any turn delay, so Slayer, type, Spirit, I still need a Spirit card. So I'm gonna go back for my Goblin Jockey. So I'm not gonna use a turn delay card. I'm just gonna use a card to dispel Gem Silence, because the first up is Gem Silence. I don't care about Flatline. Don't care about Dren, and I don't care about Blind. So I'm gonna go straight into the battle because I know my deck is only weak against Gem Silence and Power Gem Silence in this particular setup. So I only care about the Gem Silence on the first turn, and I know my deck is gonna die because it's a single affinity deck, so it's more powerful because it's equipped with all water cudgel, so it makes the deck, the defensive deck, very powerful. And you'll see this as soon as I make my first match. There you go, I'm dead. One hit, the first hit, and I'm dead. I have to use my revive. The last battle we fought, I didn't die until I came up against the third defender. I died. This is the first defender I actually died, because the hit from this card totally eradicate me, and that's because it's got a single affinity, which makes it more powerful. The mixed team makes it more difficult when it comes to the deck, but this deck has totally made that irrelevant. It's not irrelevant if people equip their defensive team with 5 affinity. This deck will run straight through every single one of those cards. Everyone. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use our Nuking ability, and it takes the boss out with 1 hit, because the boss is actually water, so the ability will take it out with 1 hit. But when it was a mixed defensive team, it doesn't take out the cards as easily, but it can still run through each one of the cards nevertheless. There we go. I might be asking, why did I just use my ultra rare? Because I want to boost the damage output when I'm matching my gems, because I know my Nuking ability is really powerful. Nuke this one out. And I'm gonna nuke this one out. And that's it. That's the deck. Quite brilliant, quite powerful. It's a brilliant deck. So I'm really loving this deck now. It's totally changed my opinion of nuke decks. So that's all I've got for you today. So like, subscribe, and this is Arcane saying, hope the content was really good. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.